Ryan, joining us now, the author of How to Test Negative for Stupid and Why Washington Never Will, a #1 New York Times bestseller. Louisiana, how did they put your name in the New York Times, #1, right?
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller.
Well, they just got confused. That's what it is. They didn't take their meds. But I'm very proud of it. We've been #1 on the New York Times list.
Well, Scott Bessent just declared them no longer the paper of record.
Well,
I'm disputing it on this point. I think you deserve it.
But we've been #1 for 2 weeks. I'm very, very grateful.
I am very troubled that you have senators and congressmen that are saying, well, you must not obey a president, the commander-in-chief's illegal orders, and not one of them can name an illegal order.
The last few days, Sean, have been surreal. I mean, honestly. Many of my Democratic colleagues, some Republicans, they've been acting like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. I mean, they're just hysterical. They've clearly exceeded the limits of their meds. They're running around. They call the president a warmonger. They call the secretary of war a war criminal. They're speaking directly to our folks in the military, telling them to disobey orders. They're out of control. And they're confusing two issues. First, legally, there's no question, you don't have to be Oliver Wendell Scalia to know this, that the president has the authority under the Constitution, Article 2, to use military force without congressional approval. I mean, he's the commander-in-chief.
Every president has done it.
Every president since World War II. I mean, President Truman dropped bombs on Japan. President Clinton bombed Serbia. President George H.W. Bush went into Panama. None of the Democrats said a word when we bombed Iran and took them out. So they're wrong on the law. Now, what on the other question, of course, is a moral issue. Should the president be doing this to narco-terrorists, to drug dealers? And I think if the president were here right now, Sean, he'd look in the eye and he would say, these people are killing our children. We know who they are. We know they're state-sponsored. I've declared them to be foreign terrorists, which gives me the right to use military force. And that's what he is doing, and I think the American people will support him and will continue to.
The American people, I doubt there's anybody watching now that doesn't know somebody who lost a relative or a child to a drug overdose, be it opioids or fentanyl, that doesn't understand how real this issue is. The idea that you have 300 horsepower outboard engines and you're flying through these waterways, I don't think you're out there to catch fish. So common sense has to be applied. They are inundating our country with drugs. They're poisoning our country. And then on top of it, for no reason at all, even before all of this, they've been telling people, well, you don't have to listen to the president. What kind of atmosphere does that create?
Well, it creates chaos. And look, I've met with Marco Rubio about this issue. We've talked about the legal aspects, but also, my Democratic colleagues are saying, well, how do you know that they're drug dealers? They're not out there fishing, as you put it. Our intelligence is extraordinary. Someone in our meeting asked Marco, said, how sure are you that these guys are running drugs? He said 110%. Our military intelligence is breathtaking. And he's right.
Well, what's wrong with some of your Republican colleagues? Because, it's like at times, they show this weakness or desire. They want to show that they're fair and go along with the Democratic colleagues. No such consideration would ever be given to them because both Biden and Obama, and I'll go back to Bill Clinton, they killed innocent civilians, all three of them as president. Nobody ever brings that up.
Well, I don't mind my colleagues asking rational questions. I don't. I don't mind, certainly don't mind my Republican colleagues, but there's several. I can think of one in particular on the Republican side.
Lost his mind. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he has just denigrated the president. He's accused the president of everything but abandoning his children to wolves. I mean, he states categorically the president is committing a war crime. These drug smugglers deserve due process. They've been declared foreign terrorists, just like Osama bin Laden was. Presidents have done it all the time, and you may disagree with it, but clearly under the Constitution, the president has the authority to use lethal military force against our enemies. And the idea that these drug dealers and drug cartels are not trying to undermine the national security of the United States is ludicrous. They're killing our children.
Do you ever think you'd be a #1 New York Times best-selling author?
No. I still have to pinch myself, but I'm very.
Last question. What's your favorite line in your own book?
The one that they wouldn't let me use for the title. I wanted the title to be "Always Be Yourself Unless You Suck." And they said, "No, Kennedy, you can't use that as a title."
I don't know.
But I put it in the book.
I actually have a title in my head. Everything I wanted to say on the air, but knew would get me fired.
Yeah, really.
And it just intrigues people. It's not that I have
They're not
anything I
going
want
to
to
fire
say.
you, Hannity. They're not going to fire you.
I hope not. You'll be my lawyer.
You come and work
Senator,
for
good to
us
see you,
if
man.
do. Good
Appreciate
to see
it.
you, Sean.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
We always appreciate you coming in. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.